everybody. Thank you for coming this afternoon. My name is Brittany McPherson. I am the Fight for Her organizer here in Phoenix, Arizona. We are out here today to drop off the 2,000 petitions that we have been collecting over this past semester since January, as well as to thank our newest co-sponsor on the Global HER Act. But I will hand off the mic to someone who can tell you a little bit more about why we're here and the work we do, and about how we're gonna fix this problem of the global gag rule. So before further ado, Stephanie Gonzalez is a sophomore studying justice studies at Arizona State, and she has been a volunteer on this campaign since January, and she'll tell you a little bit more about it. Right? Here we go. Thank you.
So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming out here today. Like she said, my name is Stephanie Gonzalez Espinosa. I'm a second-year student at Arizona State University, majoring in Justice Studies with a minor in Women and Gender Studies. This semester has been amazing and full of exciting events. We collected a total of 2,058 petitions. We have right over here. Woo! Yes! Took a lot of effort. We wrote letters to the editor, hosted poster parties, rallies, and not to mention all the hours that our team spent on petitioning on the ground. And not to sound dramatic, but they stood out there through heat and rain.
Nice.
Yes. So we kicked off the semester with a die-in that took place in the second year anniversary of the global gag rule at ASU in the Tempe campus, where we laid on the ground dressed in black with signs that read 2 years too long, too many, and stop killing us, representing the thousands of women who have died due to an unsafe abortion. By the end of March, PopCon gave us a huge opportunity to fly us out to DC and provide a hands-on advocacy training and to meet our state representatives and lobby with them. So that was amazing. Thank you so much. We also had a rally against the global gag rule in the White House. This experience has been absolutely amazing and life-fulfilling. Most of the people we have talked to had no idea what the global gag rule is, including myself at some point, and the impact it has on our society. So really quick, hi, my name is Stephanie. Do you have a minute to talk about reproductive rights? Donald Trump signed the global gag rule on his third day in office. Have you ever heard of it? I can tell you more about it. The global gag rule takes funding away from health institutions that receive U.S. federal funding, just by mentioning the word abortion. Insane, right? Hundreds of thousands of people are dying around the world every year as a consequence. Let's remember that only 3% of the funding goes towards abortion, and these clinics do so much more than that. They provide cancer screenings and HIV/AIDS treatments, amongst other services. We are Fight for Her, Health Empowerment Rights. And we have a solution to this. By passing the Global HER Act, we would stop Trump and any future president from ever re-signing this policy ever again. But we can't do it alone. We need your help. Today, I want to thank everyone who's out here, every single volunteer and member of our team. And thank you to the 2,058 persons who even just stopped for just a minute to hear us out and sign our petition. Thank you to Brittany McPherson for introducing me and the rest of the team to Fight for Her and helped us get involved and fight against the global gag rule. Thank you, Brittany. And thank you to Representative Athena Salman for being a huge supporter of our organization and coming out to all our events. You're highly appreciated amongst us. And thank you, Congressman Stanton, for signing a co-sponsor of the Global HER Act and coming out here today to be with us. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Stephanie. Our next speaker comes from Planned Parenthood Advocates of Arizona, who have been tireless partners with us in this fight in the past year that we've seen major attacks on reproductive rights, not just with the global gag rule, but also the domestic gag rule. And Serena Kadarim, sorry, Kanaram is out here today to speak about the domestic gag rule and how we're going to fight it together. Yeah.
Thanks, Brittany. Hi, everyone. My name is Serena Kanaram. I am an abortion and birth control patient, a longtime volunteer, and now the organizing manager for BPAZ. I come here to talk about the dire ramifications of the attacks on free speech, privacy between a patient and their chosen healthcare provider, and bodily autonomy being propagated by this current administration under the new global and domestic gag rules, or Title X defunding. Speech is no longer sovereign when the threat of livelihood is at stake. By implementing these gag rules, Trump's Health and Human Services has effectively staunched a physician's ability to give medically accurate and wanted information to their patients without losing out on federally divvied dollars. Dollars that are needed to ensure reproductive health and safety for our most vulnerable populations. Holding a physician's tongue hostage under the penalty of fiscal loss is in direct opposition to their oath of do no harm. Gag rules do harm by silencing at least 25 doctors and nurses at Planned Parenthood in Arizona alone, or telling them that they are no longer eligible for Title X monies should they proceed with giving accurate and scientifically based information that their patient is asking for, not to mention the toll taken around the country and even the world. The landmark ruling of Roe v. Wade in 1973 established privacy between a patient and their physician, ensuring abortion not only became legal, but a human right for all without undue burden. If you cannot access this safe and legal information because the government is invading your privacy and disallowing your doctor to give you that information, the burden is most assuredly undue. A pregnant person deserves to hear all of their options in regard to their health, safety, and individual needs. They deserve to hear it freely from a doctor who is not under duress or intimidation. By aggressively infringing on bodily autonomy and taking decision-making authority from any person, a pregnant person in this case, this administration has curbed the independence promised by our Constitution, something our nation was founded on and our defense of others across this world is predicated upon. By violating someone's self-determination, by neglecting to inform them of all of their options, this country is enslaving our inhabitants domestically and those we have sworn to assist globally. Our bodies are no longer our own if we allow others to navigate our care for us against our wishes. Planned Parenthood alone serves 41% of people receiving Title X healthcare services. We will not stop giving medically factual and needed information to those masses. We will not stop providing safe, legal, and affordable healthcare to our patients, including abortion. We stand to lose federal dollars because of our commitment to honesty. Dollars that would leave communities of color, LGBTQ+, and rural residents whose only provider within hundreds of miles may be Planned Parenthood, without access to birth control, cancer screenings, STD testing and treatment, and more. In 103 U.S. counties, Planned Parenthood served all of the women who rely on safety net programs for their birth control. Our doors will stay open for them and for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Serena. Our next speaker is Representative Athena Salman. Since she got elected in 2016, she has been one of our most passionate fighters at the state level of the state legislature, and we are happy to have her on this fight with us because not only is this a global issue, but it trickles all the way down to the very bottom, to the state level, where women's rights are being attacked, not just here and globally, but
Thank you everyone so much for coming today to speak about this very important issue, and as was mentioned, has been an issue globally since the third day of the President Trump tenure in the Oval Office. However, we know historically presidents with an extreme right agenda have imposed the global gag rule on women throughout our entire world prior to this president. And it really highlights the need, and I thank Congressman Greg Stanton for being a co-sponsor on the Global Heart Act, because a woman's right to choose, a woman's right to medically accurate, scientific-based information, a woman's right to decide the future of her body and her family, that self-determination should not be contingent upon who the President of the United States is. So again, I stand here very proudly with my representative, my Congressman Greg Stanton, for being a co-sponsor on the Global Heart Act to ensure that women all over the world are protected in the future. But the reality right now is that the law hasn't passed. The reality right now is President Donald Trump is still our president. And what we have seen is him building momentum on the gross rolling back of reproductive freedom at the state level. Arizona being one of the states that has really taken the reins, really taken this into their hands and led us in a backwards direction. It is a shame that a woman or a transgender individual or someone who has had a private conversation, which is guaranteed by the Constitution of the United States, with their doctor, can then get that conversation interfered with by a pharmacist that they're picking up their prescriptions with. A pharmacist feels emboldened because of our law to impose their religious beliefs on another individual, which not only violates the 14th Amendment, but violates the individual, the patient's First Amendment rights to be free of other people's religious coercion. This has happened in Arizona. This is happening to women and to individuals every single day because we have a government. Unfortunately, we have a majority party, the governing party, the Republican Party, that for decades, longer than I've been alive, quite frankly, as one of the youngest members of the state legislature, who have deliberately passed laws that boundary the constitutionality of our great nation to interfere with the personal decisions that belong between that pregnant individual, that woman, her doctor, and whoever else she decides to bring into that decision. The government should never be interfering with that abroad or here at home. And so I will close up, I will summarize that the Global HER Act is crucial. It is absolutely crucial that this Congress passes this act because, again, it should not matter who is the president, and that should not stand between you and getting the reproductive health care that you need. But furthermore, the way that this country treats women abroad, we have seen evidence that it will bring those policies home and they will impose that on families in Arizona and in the rest of the United States of America. And so I'm proud again to stand here on behalf of my constituents in support of Congressman Greg Stanton, who has co-sponsored this legislation, and with all the people who are standing firmly in reproductive freedom and your right towards self-determination. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Our last speaker that we're really honored to have with us is our newest co-sponsor on the Global HER Act, the Health Empowerment and Rights Act. Congressman Greg Stanton has been, in his short tenure since starting in January, has been an advocate for reproductive rights and all things justice. And we are really proud to stand with him today and that he stands with us. And we are so sure that he's going to keep fighting for us and for the Global HER Act. And we are happy to have you.
All right. Thank you so much. We're honored to be here. Thanks for doing this, company. Thanks for your leadership and bringing this important issue to my attention during the course of the campaign. We appreciate that very much. Representative Salman, you've been an awesome leader at the state legislature, not only a great passionate advocate for health care, making sure as many families across Arizona have access to a doctor at an affordable price, education advocate. She advocates for so many people to make us a stronger state. I admire you and thank you for her leadership. Let's give another big round of applause. And Serena, thanks for your leadership, what you do with our friends at Planned Parenthood. You spoke so eloquently yesterday in front of 1,600 people, and it was just amazing and just so inspiring. I just want to say thank you for the work. I know you are here to say thank you to me, but I really need to say thank you to you. What you are doing on the Global HER Act and fighting that to make sure, to be supporting the Global HER Act, fighting the global gag rule, to make sure that we provide as much healthcare support as Americans to help women and families across this globe. It makes us a stronger country. So I really want to say thank you to you for allowing me and bringing this to my attention and saying what a priority it should be and supporting my efforts to do that. Thank you for getting these great students that are here as well and the volunteers to get thousands of signatures of young people. We hear young people are not active in politics. Au contraire, just the opposite. The numbers are going up in terms of participation in politics, and most importantly, the numbers are going up in terms of awareness of some of these key issues. Look, the truth is that when women get health care here in the United States and around the globe, it builds stronger families, it builds stronger economies. It is in the United States' interest to make sure that we are providing as much health care to people around the globe as possible. It helps with our foreign policy. It helps us here back at home, and that's exactly what eliminating this global gag rule would do. It would provide medically accurate information, not just to women, but to their entire families, because when you have stronger health care, it does help the entire family. It does help build the economies of those countries, and that ultimately benefits what we're trying to accomplish here in the United States of America. So I'm proud to stand here in support of this. We're going to do everything we can with the new majority in Congress. Just over 100 days in office, but health care is one of our greatest fights. Supporting access to health care here in the United States and supporting access to medically accurate information for women and families across the globe. So, all right, enough talking. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Thank you, everyone, for making it happen. I can't wait till we actually get a win in the United States Congress. But I'm not naive. No one's naive. Representative Salman talked about it. Look, there are problems with regard to this administration and trying to politicize healthcare, women's healthcare, but healthcare overall. That's not right. And so you're going to get a good positive vote out of the United States Congress on this. But we've got to keep up the pressure and make sure this administration understands that the American people are not going to stand for it. So the work you're doing to build up this awareness and volunteerism, that makes a huge difference. So thanks for being here today, doing this to say thank you to me. But again, the main point is thanks to you, everyone, for being here. What you're doing, you make us a stronger country. Thanks so much. Have a great one.
Thank you, Congressman. And like you said, we're not going to give up this fight. And these are the names of 2,058 people in Phoenix alone that want to end the global gag rule. And so we are going to be handing these off to you so that you know all the names of everyone who wants us to do something about the global gag rule and pass the Global HER Act this year. So, thank you, Congressman, for being here. Thank you, Congressman, and thank you to everyone who came. I also want to highlight the volunteers here that have been doing the work, as well as our partners that are consistently supporting us and cheering us on. Thank you, everybody, and have a good afternoon.
Okay. I am sharing it. Okay.
Oops, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I think I should stop. Still just.
I know, you're like,
All beautiful people. All beautiful people.
Oh, do we want to hold them?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess they signed to their names are public. Confidential, right?
I could like turn them around.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, good point.
you're not in the picture?
Come on.
We'll make room.
Y'all sign.
We need some paper. We need some paper.
Alright, here we go. Alright. Oh, you got it. You got it.